Hey Lance, it's Cody again, and this is the tutorial. It's going to show you how to set up the flight simulator and more specifically how to set up the GPS for flights between various Southwest destinations. Um, I know you said you were familiar with how to program FMCs at some other VAs. For this tutorial, I'm going to assume that you're familiar with how to use LoveCars, which is Southwest Virtual's ACARS reporting system, which enables you to fly offline. You're not required to fly online at Southwest Virtual. You can actually fly these flights offline using LoveCars. I'm going to assume you're familiar with LoveCars and how to read standard instrument departures, standard terminal arrivals, things like that. If not, let me know. We'll help you out with it. I know a couple other places that actually show you how to read them, so you can actually watch those videos on YouTube. They'll probably explain it a heck of a lot better than me. Like I said, my recording software has a 15-minute time limit, so if I have to, I'll probably break this up into 2 videos simply because flight planning, it takes a little bit of time. So without further ado, here we go. First thing you want to do is go ahead and start Flight Simulator. And my computer's a little slow, so it'll take it a couple of seconds to run. What we want to do is we want to get the airplane at the gate at our departure airport with the brakes set so that LoveCars will work. So we know for this flight I'm going to go ahead and show you how I planned the flight that is in the other tutorial. We're going from Dallas to Austin. So I'm going to go ahead and select the Southwest 737. We'll go to Kilo Delta Alpha Lima, and we'll just pick a gate. I don't remember exactly what gate Southwest used. We'll just use gate Golf 11. I'll change the time to match my current local time here, and then we'll fly now. And there's another little tidbit of information I didn't know if you knew or not. I just found this out a couple of weeks ago, so I've been spreading the word on this because I found it really helpful. You can actually get programs to run in half screen like it is here. You can see half my desktop over here, and you can see Flight Sim is loading over here. As soon as it loads, I'll show you. All you got to do is actually grab the menu bar, or grab the title bar at the top, set the parking brakes, click it and drag it to whatever side of the screen you want to run half screen in, and it'll do it. And it's really handy for the flight planning stage that I'm about to show you, because on one side you'll have the chart, on the other side you'll be planning the flight. So you've got the aircraft at the gate with the brakes set, and I'm just going to leave the engines running. I probably won't have enough time to go to a full cold and dark cockpit. I can do that later, but I'm going to go ahead and get the flight plan. So the next thing you want to do, we're at the gate with the brakes set. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and start LoveCars. In this case, I'm going to use LoveCars 3. You can use Southwest's LoveCars 2. For some reason, I'm having trouble using LoveCars 2 lately, so I'm going to go ahead and use LoveCars 3. So it's going to give you the splash screen there, and then the next screen is going to ask for your pilot ID and your password that you use to log into the website. Click Authenticate, and it's going to give you Welcome Southwest.
You are now free to move about the country.
Yeah, you're now free to move about the country, and it's going to load now. It's going to at first say LoveCars not responding. Don't panic. It's actually loading the program. For some reason, it flashes up that error. And another error that we've had here lately with it is that the chat function doesn't work. There's a bunch of people posting on the forum saying about this error right here. The client was unable to connect, or the connection was lost. Not a big deal. It's working properly, I promise. So the next thing we want to do is we want to find our flight. So we're going to type in our departure airport, which in this case is Dallas Love Field, and we're going to Austin. So type in Kilo Delta Alpha Lima, Kilo Alpha Uniform Sierra, search legs, and it's going to come up with all the flights between Dallas and Austin. All the departure times are in local time, so you can either select the flight that is closest to the local time that you're online right now, like we're online at 2:26 p.m. here, so we could fly the 14:25 flight because that converts to actual local time. And or you could fly whatever leg you want. It really doesn't matter. In this case, we'll go ahead and fly a flight 1982. Double click it. Are you sure you want to fly this leg? Click yes. And it's going to bring up this page. This has got a lot of information on it. Some's useful, some's kind of, I don't know, thrown in there for looks. And you'll also hear in the background it will give you this program. There it is.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the captain speaking. I'd like to welcome you aboard this Southwest Airlines flight and invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. We'll talk to you again when we get to cruise.
And of course, that was the captain speaking, and it does that throughout the flight. It's got flight attendant sounds and captain sounds. You can disable it or enable it in the file settings area. But for what we're looking at now, you can look at the dispatch report and get your fuel load. You can actually load fuel into the aircraft through here. But what we're worried about for GPS planning purposes is the route. In this case, Southwest Virtual wants you to fly to Austin via the Joe Pool 5 departure, Windu transition, and then it wants you to arrive in Austin using the Bluey 3 arrival, Windu transition. For some reason, they put it in this format. In the real world, we file it like this. It'll be KDAL dash or space, either one, Joe Pool 5 dot Windu, and then a space, and then Windu dot Bluey 3. So that's what it actually looks like whenever, like if I'm going flying real world, that's what it looks like whenever I file a flight plan with air traffic control. Like I said, I don't know why Southwest uses this. You just gotta kind of interpret it. So next thing we need to know is what in the heck is the Joe Pool 5 departure Windu transition. This is the part that I'm assuming you know how to read departure charts and arrival charts. This is telling you basically what route it wants you to fly according to the standard instrument departure of Joe Pool 5 and then the Windu transition. You find these things, you can find them anywhere online. We'll just use airnav.com to make it a little easier. My computer's being crazy slow today, I apologize. So go to airnav.com, go to airports, type in Dallas. It's going to search, and then it's going to bring up this page. I'll go ahead and bring this up full size for you. This is pretty cool. I use this every day whenever I go flying in real life. It's got a ton of useful information. I'm trying to keep the videos short, so I'll just focus on what we're focusing on here. You can pick up an airport diagram here. It's in PDF format if you don't have one. I highly recommend you always get one for your airports that you're operating out of. And then you're going to go down here to the instrument procedures. We're looking for the departures. So you've got the terminal arrivals, instrument approach procedures, and then the departure procedures are down here. And Love Cars wants us to use the Joe Pool 5 departure. So we're gonna. It has two pages. Page 2 is the textual description of the departure, and page 1 is a physical map. In real world, the FAA requires you to only possess a textual description of the departure. You don't even have to have the map, but the map is great for maintaining situational awareness. So we'll go ahead and look at the text first. And we're looking for the Windu transition. So it's got your departure route descriptions up here, and then your transitions down here in the lower page. So we'll find the Windu transition, which is right here, Joe Pool 5.Windu. And you can see it's designed for aircraft that are inbound to the Austin or San Antonio area. Of course, we're going into Austin. And it's got a couple other notes here. So the instructions for the Windu transition are to fly over the Triple T VORTAC, VOR DME, via the Triple T radial 176 to Windu intersection. Most of the time, this section right here, and for some reason I can't get it to highlight right, will not be used because you're going to be following instructions from ATC. ATC will typically vector you to your route. So if you've got lost communications, let's say you take off and the second your wheels leave the ground, you're going gears up, you lose your radio. ATC is going to expect you to follow what this transition says. So you're going to be expected to get on the radial, the 176-degree radial from the Triple T VOR to go to wind-due intersection. It's a flight simulator. You're probably not going to lose your radio. If you do, it's not that big a deal. Like I said, for simplicity purposes, I'll just show you the basics. So now that we know what it's wanting us to do, it's wanting us to go over the Triple T VOR to wind-due intersection. We'll go back and look at the map. And here's the map for the Joe Pool 5 departure. As you can see, it's got Dallas here. There's the Maverick, or the Triple T VOR. And then you've got some north departures that can go up here. It's basically a vector departure, but we're interested in the wind-due transition, which in this case is right here. And if you remember, the text said from over the Triple T VOR, so we'll depart Dallas, proceed direct to the Maverick VOR. It wants you to fly to wind-due intersection, which in this case is this 176-degree radial that I mentioned earlier, overflying the Jaspa intersection to the wind-due intersection. And like I said, if you don't know how to read these kind of charts, there's a ton of tutorials on YouTube that will explain to you how to read these charts. Those guys do a heck of a lot better than a job than I do. So I just thought I'd throw that out there for you. So now we're going to program the GPS in the flight simulator to